Trojan family, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, USC, believe it or not, is coming in as a 6-point favorite against the LSU Tigers. Listen, there were so many people that already automatically assumed that USC was going to be lost in the sauce. Listen, happy Thursday to everybody. I want to talk about this. I want to touch on this because this is very significant, just given the fact that you guys know, and we talked about it before, LSU is pretty much in the same position as USC when you're talking about needing defensive line help. You guys know we've been talking about the transfer portal. We've been talking about guys that we possibly need within the portal. USC hasn't been as successful with getting any of these guys. Coincidentally, LSU just landed actually Suggs yesterday. Suggs committed to them. They came in late. It was, I think, Michigan, a couple of other teams, maybe Michigan State and Wisconsin. But then LSU just came out of nowhere just the other day. And as a result, he just committed last night to LSU. However, they still need some defensive help on the defensive line. LSU needs defensive help in the defensive backfield. And so, USC can possibly expose LSU, with our wide receivers. That's our strength. You guys already know it. You know what we did against a team like Louisville. And so for us to be favored, I think the odds makers actually kind of could see this the same way that, how we finished off in the Louisville game. Louisville, extremely powerful. The team played as a unit. The team played with togetherness. And I think we're going to see that pick up because you guys know Jacoby Lane, we talked about this, and I'm going to show you guys these odds. Jacoby Covington rather, he talked about it. He said, we're a team now. And so you got a team now that's playing together, a team that's kind of focused, and then you couple that with the product that's on the field, meaning the coaching staff is like second to none. Guys that's going to motivate you guys. If you guys haven't seen my live, you go take a look at that because this game is extremely important for several reasons, and we'll talk about that. But before I talk about that, let's talk about these odds. Let's take a look at it. Let's go. All right, so here are the odds, and you see USC here. This game is on 9/1, September 1st at 4:30, 7:30 East Coast time, and here it is right here. Let me move this over just a little bit. The odds here is USC a 6.5 point favorite. Does that surprise you guys? It doesn't surprise me, man. I am confident, and I'm very confident in our team. It seems like some of our fan base is not as confident in the team. But, I think this really speaks volumes to what the odds makers see. You always can kind of judge something. You guys remember when I first started this podcast, it was Lincoln Riley's first year. And those guys, they had the odds makers kind of said some similar type things as far as USC. And of course, we had Caleb Williams at the time, but we ended up going 11-3, and it was still a pretty productive season. So they're not too far off, and I think this is maybe on par. And like I said, if we win this game will actually set the tone for how USC plays for this season. I believe that if we can win this game, we go in with a lot of momentum. I think it's going to be straight up go time, man. So you guys can drop those comments, man. You guys can tell me what you think. Let's take a look at something else real quick because I believe that this is extremely important when you're talking about recruiting. Those of you who haven't watched my live yesterday, go back and take a look at it. But this is the main reason. Jakeem Stewart, a powerful guy, standing at 6'6", 270 pounds. Eric Henderson was at his practice yesterday. I talked about that yesterday. And on my live, go back and watch that. But this is the reason I believe that this game is going to be a deciding factor as to where Jakeem Stewart goes. And I think USC has to win this game in order to secure this commitment. And this will, I tell you what, if we get this commitment, it will give us the number one class in the country, the number one defensive line in the country, and USC will be absolutely moving and grooving. So you guys can drop those comments, man. I want to take a look at something else real quick. And that's in reference to Lincoln Riley. A lot of people took issue to something I saw yesterday on Twitter. Ryan Couture, let's take a look at this information real quick. Ryan Couture, he's with the LA Times, put out information on Lincoln Riley, and some people, I don't know, they feel some type of way, but I don't. I mean, we have the coach. We already knew what the finances were, but let's take a look at it real quick. So this is an article that Ryan Couture put out from the LA Times, and one of the things that he's talking about is Lincoln Riley's salary. All of us, we knew that Lincoln Riley got paid a lot of money, but nobody knew the details. But at this point, $100 million is $100 million. What do the details matter? But it says USC paid nearly $20 million in 2022 to bring Lincoln Riley to USC. So now here's what I'm gonna say as it relates to this. This could be one of the factors as to because I told you guys that our class has to be secure, right? Our class has to be secure. You're going to secure it not only by top coaching staff, but you're going to secure it by, giving these guys the bag. And so we don't have a number 3 class in the country just for nothing. I think we have a number 3 class in the country because the bag is part of it as well. So I think as far as the fan base, we really got to understand that is a major aspect of this whole thing, man. So you guys can drop those comments, man. You guys can tell me what you think. But that is Lincoln Riley, some of his contract being revealed, and we'll take a look at some more of it as well. All right, so here's some of the article. USC shelled out $19.7 million in reportable compensation to Riley between July 1st, 2022 and June 30th, 2023, according to a federal tax return filed by the university and obtained by the Times. Of that, nearly $20 million, USC paid its new coach $10.42 million in base pay and benefits for the 2022 season. Look, I'm good with that. I mean, we understood that USC was paying Lincoln Riley. We understood that it was a $100 million contract. Look, $100 million is $100 million. However you get the money to him, it's still $100 million. I just saw some real kind of crazy comments about it. A lot of people wasn't agreeing with it, but I'm good with it, man. Let's take a look. All right, here's some more of it. And it says, at the time, that number made Riley one of the just 4 coaches in all college football earning 8 figures in salary and benefits. The other 3, Alabama's Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, and Clemson's Dabo Swinney, had all won at least 2 national championships. 3 other coaches, Ohio State Ryan Day and Texas Steve Sarkisian. So that's the information on that. I'm good, man. I'm not even worried. I think Lincoln Riley is one of the best coaches in college football. And listen, Lincoln Riley made the necessary changes that he needed to make in order to, extend his career at USC. He hired the best possible coaching staff, and it's no telling, that's $22 million. It's no telling how much it took for a guy like Eric Henderson to come over from a team like the Rams. You had success, Super Bowls, all these things, Pro Bowl type of players, 2 guys that were big time players, and you coach these guys up. I don't think he came over for peanuts, right? And so, this is something to be considered. It's something to be factored in. And, as a coaching staff as a whole, even Matt Ince, the fact that he was at North Dakota State, you got to know that they didn't just pay pennies for him, right? They paid some money for him. So, and then you look at Doug Belt. He was a defensive coordinator at Houston. He came over as a position coach. And so we have to factor in all of those things. And really, and Deion Lynn, of course, I got to think he's at least in the $3 million range. I mean, just to be the defensive coordinator, because he was a successful defensive coordinator at UCLA. So these are the things that we have to factor in, man. You guys hit me in the comments. You guys tell me what you think. You guys know where you can find me. It's USCJ32 on Instagram, USCJ32 on Twitter. Until later on.